What it is, I am Controlled Pairs, this is Controlled Pairs Gaming, and you have just tuned in to Kerbal Space Program for Dummies. We are building an SSTO today, teaching you guys how to take off, achieve orbit, and land without hitting the spacebar, except for the very first time when you launch. So, first thing you're going to do is grab this Mark 1 inline cockpit. On the front end of that, you are going to grab a ram air intake. SSTOs use liquid and rocket fuel engines. That said, you're going to need these intakes in order to make sure that you're powering those engines correctly. Now, right behind that Mark 1 inline cockpit, you are going to grab a advanced SAS, the one that actually fits. Yeah, there we go. After that, you are going to get some power, head down to utility, and grab a rechargeable battery bank. Guys, I'm going to explain all of this as soon as we finish building it, and I know you got lots of questions, but wait 1 sec, I promise it will be answered. After that, you're going to throw this FLT-800 fuel tank right there. Then you're going to grab the liquid fuel fuselage, and directly behind that, you're going to come down to structure, and you are going to grab the bicoupler and slap that on there. Then you are going to go up to engines, grab a Rapier engine. These things can operate both as jet engines as well as rocket engines, so they are best for SSTOs. It's what the devs had in mind, I think. Now we're going to throw some wings on this thing. So hit center of mass button. Now we see our center of mass is located right there. Anytime you build a space plane or an aircraft in KSP, or in life for that matter, if you ever plan on building a spacecraft, you are going to need to make sure your center of lift is right behind your center of mass. So if I come up here and throw my delta wing right there, then I need some flaps to actually control my pitch in order to actually, achieve altitude and whatnot. Where is it? I think I use this one. Can't remember. Doesn't really matter. Alright, so throw some flaps on here so we have some control, and I'll get a 4 as well for closer to the fuselage. Guys, this thing's ugly as sin, but hey, we're teaching the class here, alright? We're not designing the Eiffel Tower or something else pretty and well-known that we can all agree to find common with one another. Next, we're grabbing a tail fin. We're throwing it on the back of this thing. Center it on the aircraft, back it up. Now we're going to throw some wheels on it. Go down to utility and search for these small aircraft wheels right here. Alright, a lot of people when they build aircraft in KSP, they're like, hey man, I can't get off the freaking runway. What the hell? My wings aren't generating enough lift. What's the problem? The problem is not lift, my friend. It is that your wheels are too far back. So they'll throw wheels way the hell back here. They're like, dude, I can't get the nose up. Put your wheels closer to your center of mass, bro, so if it works. Once you get them there, just click on them, rotate them. I use the this tool up here, by the way, in case you guys aren't tracking that. Then switch over to offset, and you can offset them. Make sure they're, still kind of touching, so you're not completely cheating. Too close together? Hells to the yes it is. There we go. Very pretty. Kind of floating. Whatever. Alright, we're going to need one on the front, too. You want to make sure that the one on the front causes the nose to be just a tad higher than the rest of the body. We've achieved that by placing these on the side. Now let's talk about this thing. Oh, we almost forgot one of the very, very most important things. We need more ram air intakes. Then we're going to talk about it a little bit. Real fast, I promise. So, grab a cubic octagonal strut, turn on symmetry, make sure it's on both sides of the wings, slap a ram air intake on both the wings either side, then click on your rotate tool, click on the cubic octagonal strut, and rotate it so that, bad things don't happen, and it's actually facing forward, which is very beneficial given what's happening right now. Then you can tweak it, offset it, whatever you need to do to satisfy your desire for aesthetic appeal. Guys, this is the SSTO. Last thing we're going to need to do is make some action groups. So, come up here to the action groups, click on that, click on your Rapier engines, and action group 1 is going to be toggle mode, or switch mode, right there. That means whenever you press 1 on the keyboard, you are going to switch these from air breathing mode to solid rocket mode. You're turning them from a jet engine into a rocket engine. Very cool little tool to have. Next, come over here to custom 2. And click on your RAM intakes. They are going to be toggle intake. That means if you hit 2, these intakes are no longer going to be sucking up air. They will, whoa. Yeah, override it. They're no longer going to be sucking up air. They are going to instead close off and reduce the drag on the aircraft and thus increase its efficiency when these Rapiers go from liquid fuel to solid rocket fuel mode. Man, that was a lot of talking. Next, we're going to have to tweak some of these parts. Come down to your flaps. These ones on the end, they are not going to help you yaw at all. All they're going to do is make your life a lot more difficult if you allow them to. So right click on them, disable yaw, come closer to the fuselage, click on this one. It's not going to need to help you yaw either, and it's also not going to need to help you roll. That's what these on the outside do. Next, come up to your tail, right click on that, and all it needs to do is to help you yaw. I'm saying the word yaw a lot. It's very strange. It's okay. So now we have a pretty stable aircraft. It looks like it is going to be good to go. We've got our action group set up. Let's talk about how to fly this thing. An SSTO takes off normally like an airplane. It achieves an ascent profile. This one's probably like 35-40 degrees, so we're going to angle up at 35-40 degrees, and we're going to accelerate to like Mach 9,000 really fast. This thing is going to be almost on fire by the time it's actually leaving the atmosphere. Then, after those liquid fuel engines, the Rapiers are no longer operating like a jet engine, we're going to hit both 1 and 2 and activate both those action groups simultaneously, thus turning this into a rocket engine and turning these off to reduce drag. That's going to allow us to basically achieve an orbit and continue flying like we were just taking off once we are actually out of the atmosphere. Alright, so now we find ourselves on the launch pad and we are ready to fly this thing. I'm going to activate the brakes. I'm going to hit Z to maximize the throttle. I'm going to hit T to activate SAS. I am going to hit spacebar to fire the engines. Then I'm going to hit the brakes to turn off the brakes. Now, we are sliding down the runway. When we pull up, we want to be very careful not to drag the engines on the ground on our way up. And then we want to get to that ascent profile right quick. Right there above 30 degrees. We're about 35, 36 degrees. And this thing is going to pick up speed with a quickness, man. Because we have these two Rapiers on here, I don't even know what the thrust-to-weight ratio is. Look at that. Holy crap. Thrust-to-weight ratio is 4 right now. Freaking 4. That is just silly. So that's how fast this thing's going to pick up speed. And the higher thrust-to-weight ratio you have with an SSTO, at least for the current Kerbal builds, the better it's going to fly. So we just parked this thing right at about 35-40 degree ascent profile. It's going to pick up speed like a freaking rocket ship, because that's exactly what it is, a freaking rocket ship. And we're going to keep on climbing. And we're also looking up here in the top right at the intake air. So we started with 3, it's very quickly falling. When that thing hits 0, these engines are no longer going to be able to function like jet engines anymore, so we're going to have to hit 1 and 2, use those action groups that we designed in the building process, transfer them into rocket mode, and then complete our orbital maneuvers. So look at this, man. Wow. Oh man, that's awesome. So if I was to make any sudden movements right now, this thing would fall apart so quick. So freaking quick. Pinch my nose just down a tad. Hopefully this thing doesn't explode. Alright. Man, we are looking good. We are looking good. We're about ready to switch over to rocket mode in 3, 2, 1, switch. And it's still looking good. We are pushing our apoaps up to... Let's stick right there, right over 75, so we can achieve a good orbit over 75K, which is all you need in order to orbit. And hey, this is a tutorial. We're not trying to go to the moon. But if you do want to go to the moon, there's a how to go to the moon video in this playlist that you should check out. That's called a shameless plug. Damn it. Alright, there we go. So, almost. If you don't know how to achieve orbit, there's also a video for that. And if you're trying to build an SSTO but you haven't got to orbit yet, you're doing it wrong. So I recommend look at my video, how to orbit and how to re-enter. Watch those first, then come back here, and we'll teach you how to continue being awesome. So we've scheduled our burn. We have a maneuver node located at the apoapsis. Burn is going to be a 25-second burn. That means we need to start at about 12.5 seconds before T. So I'm using time acceleration now to slide on up there, and we're circularizing just like you would with anything else ever in the history of everness. Come on, damn it. There we go. So we're just a few seconds out. Oh shit, I went too far. It's alright, hit Z now. Don't do that, especially when you're trying to do a live commentary. I don't know if we're gonna have enough fuel now, because I'm a genius and made this terrible decision. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. I hope so. Because I really don't want to do it again. I had a lot of energy this go around. If I have to do it again, I'll be very upset. 3, 2, 1... Oh, heck yes, orbit. What? It's not circular, but we got 73 on one side, 90 on another. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kerbal Space Program for Dummies. I am Controlled Pairs. This is my channel. If you liked the video, please smash that like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel. If you need help or if you're having trouble with SSTOs, ask for some help down in the comments. Describe what's going on, and I will see what I can do to help you. I'm not a pro. I just act like one. Until next time, this is Controlled Pairs, signing off.